It's 1 year since a devastating flood swept through Wimberley Memorial Day weekend. A dozen people were killed and 2 children are still missing.
That flood also left behind millions of dollars in damages. KXAN's Rachel Glazer shows us how the town is still rebuilding 1 year later.
It was really devastating. It was unbelievable. It still is.
I mean, there are no words.
There are the sounds of the Blanco River. A constant flow of noise that once brought a sense of comfort is now overpowered by the sound of construction. 1 year later, some are still trying to rebuild. Others aren't ready to return.
They said, we are so devastated by this, you know, we just can't move. We can't even think.
The river, the rain are all reminders of that night.
Whenever it rains, whenever there's lightning and thunder, it brings back a lot of bad memories.
Heavy rains triggered a major flash flood Memorial Day weekend. A rush of water uprooted trees and ripped homes off foundations.
If you drive down there now today, you'll see a lot of empty slabs. You know, there's just a lot of foundations that were never rebuilt on.
Greg Jordan is a contractor. He works to repair the houses in his hometown, knowing there are some things that can never be fixed.
It is very hard to look at the empty stilts.
3 families were inside the house when the water swept it away.
Very hard to think about all that and all the loss.
12 lives were lost in the flood and 2 children were never found.
And when I look at the river, this is different now.
The pain runs deep here, but in the devastation, some still see the beauty. Life here may never be the same, but now they're in search of a new normal.
It's got deep, everlasting scars that, you know, people are going to be dealing with for years.
Rachel Glazer, KXAN News.
The surviving relatives of the owner of that home that washed away say they do plan to rebuild one day. Others say they want to rebuild but cannot afford to do so after the flood map was redrawn, requiring houses to be built higher than they were before. Complaints about contractors who were paid but didn't do the work have also plagued Wimberley since last year's flood.